playstyle very well.
Break this down for me, Leo. What are we expecting for this upcoming game?
When it comes down to damage, Fire Flux Impunity has it in spades, and they have damage coverage. That's something that I was noting prior to this Lunox pickup, but now looking at the HP-based damage that they can deal, forget about it. Edward, Sensui, they have to choose their engagements. As for Blacklist, I have to agree with you, gentlemen, my bespectacled buddies. The fact that both of these lineups have a clear path forward, I give an advantage to Blacklist because they've done this several times. They are masters of choosing their pace and slowing it down up until their cores are ready. And when I say cores, I'm not just looking at carry, I'm not just looking at OHEB, even Yue. You can expect Yue to start, whatever that is, that second skill on Valentina, that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt a lot as we get into our very first game in this best of 5 to kick things off. It's Blacklist International on the blue side up against Fire Flux Esports on the red side.
All right, looks like they're already being a little bit aggressive. RennieJ might get caught off here, a little bit too deep. Can they catch him? Alien gonna try to come help out.
There it is.
1, 2, he dodges, but no, Apex still picks up the kill.
Well, at least while all of this is happening, Edward, well, I can't say it was much of a win. He got a bit of gold off the plating and made sure that at least 2 of the minions were gone. So it's going to be a little slow for Alien to actually scale up in this lane matchup.
All right, to be fair, it was the Hitman who was crossing the river. He did try to check for a sneaky orange. You see what's up? Oh, is this okay? And apparently, Fire Flux was all the more sure to protect TNZ, and they came in with punitive justice. Now, looking at how else we can bounce back from this, if you're Fire Flux, you just go as fast, and luckily you are faster on the rotation. Again, the Fredrin doesn't walk as quickly as the Baksh can roll out, but for a Blacklist though, the fact that that kind of action happened in the XP lane means OHEB is still on schedule.
Okay. At the very least, he's pulling attention away from one of the bigger win cons here as we start looking at what they're bringing to the table. I'm seeing, okay, CDR. I'm seeing a great weight, Wilderness Blessing as well. All right, looks pretty good.
A little bit of damage on a TNZ, nothing super crazy gonna happen here. We still have about 10 seconds for the turtle, and neither teams want to blow their load just yet.
They gotta hold on. They gotta hold on. They gotta wait for that climactic moment at the very end. But it's still, we do need a little bit of time, right? Because so far, the fact that we do see that Apex 47 was able to take the kill, it's not like a majority of the goal fell into the right hands anyways, right? But it does push him closer to 4.
Yep.
Edward taking the Express over to TNZ there. Gonna try to zone away, Yue there as well. I'm excited to see how Rosa plays out on this Lunox. Hitting level 4, there goes the penalty zone. Rosa gonna dash in as well. Sensui able to take the turtle though. Alien causing a little bit of damage. RennieJ gonna knock them all up, but they should be able to disengage here. Blacklist gonna escape with a win there.
All right, so they are sending out OHEB to go hit double lanes. Usually you see a Claude doing this because, again, he has the agility, he has the battlefield mobility, but here it's more of a build of, it's a slow build for the carry. He knows that he can't win against the Bruno because you're winning range, you're winning dueling as a Bruno on Sunshine. So safe to say Blacks International, specifically OHEB, is looking for his breaks every now and then. So far, RennieJ's job right now is to just draw a line between Fire Flux and his cores. Fire Flux and OHEB and Yue. So as long as Yue and OHEB aren't dying, Fire Flux have to pick up the pace, have to force something from Black.
Which, I mean, so far, like, considering the motions across the map and the early items that we are seeing, right, it's only a very slight lead coming in from the side of Sensui, but it's an important lead to have over TNZ, because the last time they met, he could barely walk up to contest, and now things are a little different. Now you have 2 spearheads instead of just waiting to scale for 1.
Look at the rotations from Sunshine as well. He's like ready. He thinks if a fight's gonna happen, I want to be somewhere close to the mid lane. Now, this could cost him a little bit. It's gonna put some pressure onto his lane, but now Sensui, in the midst of 2, should be able to get away from this. RennieJ there as well, gonna be able to guide him to safety.
Yep, pulls him out. Something to note about Sunshine now, rotating out just as much as OHEB. The reason why OHEB can do this is because they have a Matilda. They have the guiding wind, so it's less of a travel for the carry. And look, you see that? It's a game of inches for Blacklist. For Fire Flux, it's full committal. This Kaja is very much offensively orientated, while the Matilda can do both.
Yeah, he's farming double lanes here, and he's not losing a single one. Usually for teams without a Matilda, or at the very least having Wilderness Blessing, right? You do end up losing maybe 1, sometimes 2, depending on the management overall, and that's a very small loss if you're taking 2 waves, but if you're maximizing, making 0 loss, it's just all profit.
All right, Turtle Dose coming up right now. RennieJ Gonna get that circling eagle on Apex 47. Edward trying to keep Alien at bay as well. TNZ charging up, rolling against the wall. I like the pacing. Black also not gonna try to rush this though. Oh, winning in the bot lane. 1v1, that's gonna be bad for Sunshine. Now Fire Flux know they need to claim something here. They've lost something down in the gold lane. There goes the penalty zone. TNZ able to take the turtle. Terrify on it at Apex 47. Renny J wants to keep his eyes on him. TNZ on the run. Rosa doing a little bit of damage. Apex 47 just trying to get out alive, but he's gonna get pulled back with his own skill, and that is a kill for the Hitman.
Beautiful stuff coming in from BLACKLIST International, right? We saw the punishes that they were looking for. Unfortunately, didn't get the turtle, but a solo kill down by the gold lane has their win con already activated at this point.
I wish I saw the intricacies, the nitty-gritty of what happened down bottom. To have been a fly on that wall, but just the same, it's Oheb you're talking about here. He's able to make apple juice out of lemons, right? When life gives you lemons. But this might be the story right here. Maybe before the kill, he was 300, 400 ahead. But now, oh dear Lord, he has the corrosion sight on his way to a DHS, and even boots and a casual jerkin, why not? That might make the difference here. I think the jerkin may have been there when he won the 1v1. That may have made a difference, and again, allowed for him to forward flicker. That's something I know as well.
Rosa force use of brilliance there. We're seeing that pressure be applied to Fire Flux. The same pressure that Fire Flux applied to them last time. This time BLACKLIST bringing the aggression. Apex right now is forced to stay in the gold lane. He's forced to protect Sunshine, and still BLACKLIST are looking for some action down there.
Yeah, as a Kaja, there's very little protecting you can do. Your kit isn't built to protect. While the Matilda, on the other hand, which may have actually added up to why Oheb eventually got the lead onto Sunshine.
The stun. Apex able to dash away. Oheb with the speedy light wheel just unloading. But wait, the backup's here. The Hitman ready to strike with the guiding eagle. The circling eagle. Oheb takes tower. Fire Flux just wants to try to get him away from him. BLACKLIST got what they came for.
I'm telling you, BLACKLIST, they're trying to pour gasoline on a very, very small fire, and for now, it might not be enough because Fire Flux, they want to take it slow. Everybody's, whoa!
Oh, I don't know if he wanted to start that though. Rosa is going to dash in though. With a little bit of damage on Oheb. Edward, okay, ready to back up and re-engage. Fire Flux, I don't know if they want to take those fights right now.
Oh, you see the release control, the discipline in Agent Zero. He could have flickered on forward, spent a bit of his kit, confirmed the kill, but no, they know he knows his team needs his CC flicker just to secure this turtle.
All right, Renny J locking onto Rosa there. TNZ able to come in. Apex 47 takes a turtle, but he is going to get suppressed. Wait a second. Rosa in a little bit of trouble as well. Rosa going to get pulled back in. Apex 47 knocked up, taken down. Rosa might be next on the chopping block. Sensu able to get the taunt. The brilliance comes out. Now Fire Flux on the run. They got to get out of town. BLACKLIST leading the game right now.
Oh, from what looked like a great play coming in for Apex 47, lucky that he got it. Rosa ends up losing his flicker, and that's not something that you want to see, right? Again, you can definitely see the idea of what the play was supposed to be, but unfortunately, that's just a big battle spell gone for the next neutral. And so far, BLACKLIST International will keep up with the pace.
Luckily, a minute and a half is when the Lord comes up, so Rosa should be ready. But the question is Rosa ready? That's just a call. That's a clock of destiny on their way to a Durance, if I'm not mistaken. It should be fine. Durance or a Genius Wand. One or the other. I think it's not there yet. I'd like to say they're fine in the sense that if they don't fight. But if BLACKLIST pick it up, and again, that small fire, pouring fuel upon fuel, gallon on gallon, it should speed up to the point where when this first Lord comes up, it should be all black.
I mean, let's see whether or not it's going to. As Edward, he's going to face check this. I think he's going to be totally fine here, right? I don't think Fire Flux Esports really want to commit too many resources onto Edward unless they're concerned about his primal wrath. But half the time that they are on this side of the map, they are usually the ones getting pushed out. But notice, bottom side, right? The tier 2's under threat as the mid lane gets cleared up.
They got it. Traded out for top lane tier 1.
Good trade for BLACKLIST there. 2.6K gold lead now. A lot of you see it all the time with the top teams. They're willing to bring the fight even when they are at a deficit, and I think this is a point where Fire Flux is going to start hitting some of those spikes. Sunshine just got in the Berserker's Fury. We were talking about some of Rosa's build actually out-golding UA right now. So is Fire Flux going to still try to bring that with Lord coming up? If they are, this is the time to do it.
Now, something tells me they can't afford to do that because long lane has been severely damaged.
Yeah.
If I read the situation correctly, that last minion actually popped the Holy Shield. Pre-12 minutes, turrets have shields, it's already popped. So they have to deal with that lane the old-fashioned way, and now...
Oh, nice flicker on 4 members, but he gets knocked up in return. Alien getting low, but Sensui gets a ton.
Oh.
Brock, knock him down. Tienzi's getting shredded. Oheb just taking him down and takes the flight, zooming over just to find Alien as well. They're gonna move on to the Lord now, and Fire Flux back into their corner.
That's what you like to see. If you are indecisive, do I start recalling? Do I walk away from this? Is this a good or is this a bad situation? Blacklist will collapse on you, and that's what we saw with Alien after Tienzi ends up dying. He didn't know. Should I go back in? I could heal off the wave, but at the same time, I could lose my life. And Blacklist, I'm just flickering for this.
In the business of what we call the turn. Blacks International feigned the Lord take. Fire Flux Esports bit down on the bait. Alien went in with the OPZ. It was an offensive penalty zone. Our good friend here, Mr. Wagner, just lost it like, whoa! And I would have too. But the thing is, it was all Blacklist's plan. They knew what was up, and that's why Rosa flickered on out. Rosa, ulted out because this is not a situation I want to be in. I'm saving my ult up. I'm actually building my items so that it's worth it when I do my own little version, the Rosa DD. And now with the Genius Wand, maybe they need one more. Rosa needs one more item for it to actually matter.
Yeah, Rosa also needs to find the angle. We saw Edward already pick up the shield. I'm having a total mind blank right now. The Athena shield.
Yeah,
Athena
yeah.
shield.
The shield of Athena.
So, the shield of Athena, exactly. Athena's personal shield.
That's right.
So Rosa can't damage him right now, and he can't find an angle onto Oheb. Oheb's just tight inside of that little box. He knows exactly when he needs to pop the speedy light wheel. He knows exactly when he needs to engage, and Rosa just has no way in.
nor a way out. Given the Hitman, they have a way out.
Yeah, it's very much all in, right? You're looking for the small synergies of Apex 47 and Rosa kind of working together, but at the same time, let's not forget about the high ground defense that Fire Flux actually have, right? Especially when it comes down to chunking down Lords at this stage of the game. Rosa, he's looking over at Sunshine, he's like, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, and I think when you're down like this, about 5k at about 12 minutes with an item build that I'd say rivals your lane mate, again, save for the Sensui and Tienzi situation, that's a huge gap. You're fine. Fire Flux Esports, the kind of lineup that they have, especially when you're looking at the high ground defense, this is what I like to call a low committal wave clearing lineup. You have dudes like the Bruno that can actually just basic attack, and most minions take just 2 hits tops, given your full build. You also have the Lunox, which is just able to spend their kit, able to clear wave after wave, even a Lord if you want to underneath your base. So it's fine. Fire Flux have that going for them. Now, their main weakness, especially if Blacklist do crack into an inhibitor or 2, is they're going to be trapped inside their own base. And now what does this lineup from Fire Flux Esports have that works inside the base? Actually, to be fair, very little. It's just the penalty zone. You still want to play in bushes. You still want to find angles so that Apex 47's kit and approach actually becomes important. It becomes an X factor, because if you see the Kaja coming, then all the more, especially if you're Blacklist, you can just pull him out with the guiding winds.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's just the characteristics of both the compositions. We're expecting Fire Flux to eventually scale up, but in terms of the engagement, they only really have 2 big options, and Blacklist International are just going to continue. They're great at team fighting, right? Getting in and out of it, and especially since none of them have taken Purifies, they want straight up flickers, they're looking to punish mistakes such as being out of position, engaging too hard, being too far forward compared to maintaining some good battle lines between your front and back.
All right, so it looks like they're going to hang out in that bot lane right now. Maybe try to clear things up, give up this Lord, but at least they know, like, if we can survive this Lord push and we try to get a little more macro on the map, we can try to win for the long haul.
And I think that's what the Turkish said. You know, we have okay defense, we're fine. It's very low committal, costs us very few resources to actually do this. Something to note as well, the reason why they didn't even think of contesting, the reason why they said, you know what, we'll just take it in the base, this is just Lord number 2 anyways, is they have low vision. This lineup needs Apex to actually move between bushes and, again, maybe even sacrifice themselves just so that Sunshine and Rosa know where to go. Even for TNZ, it's not as easy.
No, they can't do that, right? Because again, if they send TNZ in there, they don't have the retribution. If they send their Kaja in there, they're not going to have that divine judgment for the pick. So you can see why Fire Flux just would rather turtle. Okay, sacrifice bot inhibitor, totally fine. We can deal with this, but let's fight now.
All right, Lord has broken through, but Blacklist wants to stay around the mid side. Oh, Apex 47 instantly shattered. Sent to the Netherrealm there. Blacklist breaking down all inhibitors. Luckily, Sunshine is able to get rid of the Lord there. Sensui trying to hold the front side. Takes down Alien. Oheb picks up the kill, though. Rosa gonna be next. Pops out the Brilliance. Able to just get away. But Yue doesn't want to let it happen. Into the backside. And now TNZ against the ropes as well. Blacklist gonna clean up in game number 1.
GG, well played. That's game number 1, falling into the hands of Blacklist International. And my God, Yue taking that penalty zone to jump at Rosa. I'm telling you. Again, the full barrage is only 4 seconds long. If you can stagger it and only get a couple of shots out, or maybe even, well, dodge the smart helix, you have an opportunity. You have an opening.
That's right. But then again, the numbers will see what Fire Flux is playing with. And again, conceptually, this is very similar to how they made a lineup that beat BLACKLIST International in the group stage. This is reminiscent of that Leomord lineup that they had in game 1. So now, going into the knockouts, we'll see what kind of lessons BLACKLIST have learned and how they're going to be able to deploy.
All right, everybody, coming into game number 2. Blacklist holding the lead 1-0 right now. Can Fire Flux upset Destiny?
It's going to be Fire Flux on the blue side this time, up against Blacklist International, now on the red. I want to see how the tempo is going to be broken, right? Because I think that's going to be by far the most important part of this entire strategy. Because once we see Fire Flux online playing as 5, it's a problem. And Renegade, don't tell me he's going to get first blood again.
Nope, he's fine. He's still holding on to the Purify. And by holding on to the Purify, it just shows that he's going to be playing with his mechanics. He's going to be playing with instinct. Because between the CC on Apex, between the CC on Sunshine when he procs his skills, nothing can stop him. So he can just as quickly run into a bush, and he's okay.
You're sounding more and more super shark pilled here. The man's going with the sprint. He wants to be fast. He wants to be quick. Oh, no.
Nice knock up, immobilized. A lot of damage on Renegade there.
What we say? Ka-chow!
Ka-chow!
I will say this, Apex 47 is going to be walking in the park with Renegade, I feel like, this whole game. They're just holding hands. He's going to try to keep him next to him, keep eyes on him. But wait a second, a little bit of damage on Sensui here. TNZ going to try to unload Rosa there as well. Sensui goes down. First blood.
All right, that one, not so ka-chow. Because again, you're not going to get any defensive or regenerative properties when you go into a bush. So Fire Flux knows that. Fire Flux leaned hard on Sensui, and this is not a good position. I have to be honest, Blacks International are in trouble. If Renegade dies early, that's fine. But if it's Sensui, oh no, he's going to have a hard time even getting this first turtle.
Yeah, and this is just a punish because we did see Sensui use his retribution early, and that was relayed to TNZ. And now, I mean, no, he should be fine, right? He doesn't have a sprint, but oh, wait a minute. He is kind of low, though.
Oh! Is that 2? 2 for TNZ?
Yes, 2 for TNZ. Renegade timed out his passive. You see how it took a while for his bush to actually give him the shield and the HP regen? And there you go. That might have been something that they could have better coordinated, but something tells me it's for the macro play. He actually delayed TNZ. This might actually be a 50-50 turtle.
Oh, we'll see how 50-50 it really is going to be, right? Because at the end of the day, one of the few things I'm concerned is when I see a Leomord with kills, with money, in a matter of fact, the faster he scales, the more you don't want to be below 50% HP.
That's the Oathkeeper for you.
Look at Renegade here, trying to find a way into the back, maybe try to lock onto Rosa during this fight. TNZ as well. Here comes the Steed, though. TNZ can unload a little bit of damage, but Alien able to lock him up. TNZ takes a turtle. That should be all they need, but they want to go for more. Taking down Edward.
Oh, no.
Sensui brings out the Appraisal Wrath, but pulled back in. Grab, slam, and taken out. Sensui gonna be off. It's a 2 for 0 plus a turtle in favor of Fire Flux.
Okay, something tells me even Sensui was thinking twice about that. As soon as he died at level 3, folks, even before the turtle spawned, Apex in trouble. All right, he should have gone into ADP mode, anti-disaster protocol. But he was playing with fate. He was saying, you know what, maybe we can go 50-50, and look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you gotta give it to Alien. That was a great set by him to allow Apex to get in there with a clean implosion once you get the slam down. But let's look at the hero counters so far, because this is a matchup that, you know, we're seeing more recently other than just the Faramis. In theoretical win rate, 53% in favor of Lily in comparison to the 46% leading into Valentina.
Ooh, Apex 47 does get the stun and the knockup onto 2, but Apex 47's gonna pay for it. Sensui picking up the kill, but TNZ finds Renny, finds Rosa. It's 2 for 1 right now, but TNZ wants to stop that, picks up a double kill. He's 4-0-1 right now. Not where you want to see a Leomord.
TNZ's eating good, and that is an understatement. This is exactly where you want to be as a Leomord early on. You see, he built his Hunter Strike, and he is #1 gold earner in the game. Under 5 minutes. Only Oheb coming in at second. Now, with that said, how good is this glue? I have to say,
good.
The glue just draws people and puts them where exactly Apex wants them, especially for Rosa and TNZ to clean up. You're not even seeing Sunshine yet.
And all this because, hey, you didn't pick up Farmers? That's fine with me. I can get away with this. This is one of the few picks that you need to be worried about as the dive is going to occur on top side.
Oh, look at Rosa. Oheb tries to get away, but flickers right into TNZ and Apex 47 there. Gonna go down, another kill into the hands of Fire Flux.
Man, KL1 got isolated so bad. There's nothing that Renegade can do anyways. He was just gonna check in on him where he was. And now they're in trouble.
Ooh, Renegade. Oh, gonna get knocked up. I don't think there's an escape here. Doesn't have the sprint. Taking a little bit too much damage. TNZ finds it. They give up Turtle there, but I think it's a very good trade for Fire Flux.
Yeah, I mean, 2 more seconds is all Renegade needed to buy time for so that the rest of the team can actually get in on the action. Well, speaking of action, Alien is able to kind of rotate from that top side. It's a bit difficult, right, in the Trizla matchup. Now, real questions here. I'm curious on your opinions of this. This goes for you, Trex, and even for Leo. Who do you prefer eating good, TNZ or Rosa?
Leo?
I would like for TNZ to eat good. Because Rosa is okay. We've seen Rosa play this Lilia like a janitor, like doing the dirty work, right? Making sure that vision is good, spacing is good, zoning is good. So Rosa needs very little items. For Leomord is out of the meta, so you need as much items on him. I'd say this is worse for Blacklist.
And TNZ's eating so good right now that Rosa's perfectly okay with the scraps that are dropped down. There's food for everybody in Fire Flux right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's evident with the 2.4K lead that they've developed for themselves. 8-2 is the current kill score, and Renegade willing to run underneath the tower to get the heck out of there. Now, Oheb, the oppression is starting to be applied onto him because I think Fire Flux have recognized that, okay, it's now that we've kind of dominated the early game, let's stop their late game scaling.
I love how Oheb, you're going to switch lanes? Okay, we'll just send 4 people down that way then. Now, Blacklist is onto it though. Alien able to get the stun on Yue there. Alien should be okay here, but Renegade might not be okay. TNZ puts some nice damage down. All it takes is one more hit, but he wants to catch the steed. He's going to re-engage onto the purple buff side though. Alien taking a little bit too much damage. Oheb able to finally put a kill to map. The full barrage comes out, and Sensui's taken out. A godlike kill for TNZ. Blacklist still against the wall.
You could have sworn TNZ's sword was about 10 feet long. The way he was just poking out, almost taking down Edward, almost killing Oheb. If not only those members of Blacklist committed their flicker, that could have been disastrous. It already is.
Rosa under the tower still dealing with Yue, getting revenge from game 1. Sunshine and Renegade as well. And still, that was our first time seeing Sunshine so far.
And so far, so good, right? I mean, everything is working in favor of Fire Flux's esports. This draft is so nasty. All the holes seem to be covered here.
Again, it's shades to what happened just a few nights ago in the group stage, wherein they took down Blacks International, set the tempo, went for the sweep, and became #1 in the seeds in their group. Now, something to note, look at Renegade. His main thing right now, since they're not ahead, is just to clear bushes and make sure that they know exactly where the members of Fire Flux are, so Blacklist can continue trying to claw back into a favorable position. There's very little that Renegade can do to protect OHEB, very little he can do to actually set up team fights, and that might be problematic.
How far can they push it, really, right? I mean, like all elastic bans, there's a tension where eventually it's going to snap. And what is that breaking point that we're seeing for either side? Like, I think for BLACKLIST International, a 2.8K lead, as long as it stays there, sure, it kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, we'll get to where we need to be. In comparison to Fire Flux, who is just like, I want to break you. I need to snap you soon and fast.
I don't know, but Fire Flux does have some late game potential with Rosa, with Sunshine, with Alien. We've already seen him do some crazy things. TNZ is, yes, the bully in the beginning, but he's got some backup for the late game still.
That's the thing. TNZ is only doing what he's doing because the cores from Fire Flux are actually serving it up. Rosa's dealing a lot of damage. Again, 7 assists already. Almost 95% KP.
Edward kind of misses there. Apex gonna get pulled in, but he's okay. BLACKLIST, though, might want to try to capitalize on this. Decide not to, back off, play a save. We got 30 seconds till the Lord, and as long as we can gain some control in the map, it's okay.
All right, back to what I was saying, right? TNZ's only doing this because Fire Flux are in sync. Fire Flux are forcing fights. If BLACKLIST is able to deny these fights, then it's gonna slow down to a crawl. It's gonna go down to 1,000 ahead, 500 ahead, and then eventually it's going to be okay. Because OHEB right now is actually ahead from Sunshine. So it's not like the carry's not getting farm.
Look at that damage, though. Oh, he still wants to pull him, but no backup there. Now comes the full barrage. The backup is there. I'm wrong. And Yue's taken out. TNZ now picks up the steed, picks up his ride. He's going to try to ram down on a Renegade here. Renegade on the run in his jungle. Is TNZ going to be able to catch him? A little bit of back and forth, but it's not enough. TNZ with a legendary kill.
Dude, I don't know about this one. It's starting to look really bad. Like, Alien should be okay here, but it's starting to look real bad for BLACKLIST International, right? Not in the sense that they are, you know, trying to recover from the damage being applied to them, but at what point, the way that they're tempo breaking isn't very profitable.
Yep, you're talking about the rubber band and the snap happening. If anything, it's on BLACKLIST. Once Renegade's antics are solved, then he's just but a nuisance. He's just a little tick on the back of Fire Flux's giant saber tooth. And they are indeed the predators here. BLACKLIST their prey.
All right, TNZ able to take the Lord. They do get the stun on the Sensui as well. Sensui try to contest for, but now he has to try to escape. The full barrage comes out. OHEB taking way too much damage. They know they got to hit and run right there. Fire Flux taking control.
You see that? Alien took a good 5 seconds worth of carries basic attacks. You just don't do that. Glue is built diff now.
It's just so annoying to deal with the split specifically, right? It guarantees you time, and that's something that, unfortunately, BLACKLIST International don't have.
Look at Rosa, just a bully right now. Does fall back in. Hold on. Has to pop the Purify. Goes down. Renegade finally able to pick up a hit for himself. But now he's going to get taken out himself. Alien able to get the implosion. I mean, Apex able to get the implosion. OHEB finds Alien, though. It's 2 for 1. BLACKLIST finally coming out on top in a fight, but the Lord is still coming.
Just the first economic win for BLACKLIST in this whole game so far. I'd say they've been trading downwards all the way, and it's not like it came for free, right? In the moment it did, but they lost out bad. Bottom lane, top lane, they need to make more of the map back, and they can only do that via Renegade. So Renegade isn't out of the picture just yet.
He's not calling it quits just yet. So far, when I'm looking at the items, right, man, once TNZ gets that Blade of Despair, it is going to be really, really rough for them, because so far Rosa, at this point, every item is just an extra surplus, because he's been bullying them. He's been slowing them down with his Ice Queen's wand. He's got the damage to do so. With the new changes to the Lightning Truncheon, it's even more difficult to actually keep up with his pace. The movement, the footwork from Rosa.
And that's why Lily is such a meta hero right now. Look at BLACKLIST International's lineup. They all need to be of a certain proximity. They need to be at least mid or close range to deal the damage. How do you do that without walking into glooms? How do you do that without walking into shadow energies? Look at what Lily is doing right now. Rosa is a menace.
Rosa the Menace, a.k.a. Thorn Queen, a.k.a. Bully. Rosa's going to keep him at bay here. Fire Flux at this point, I mean, they feel good about it. They can just hang out. They can kind of stall lanes a little bit. They don't have to force anymore, I feel.
I agree with you with that on track, because I think that at this point of time, the question is, how do you break the camel's back, right? You're not looking to maim it no longer, you're really looking to break it. And the only way is if you're going to have a full team fight and you're looking for the damage alongside of 3, ideally 5 kills, but 3 to 4 is doable.
Apex looking for somebody here. Steed comes out. Edward is there though, watch out for the penalty zone. TNZ and Apex 47 don't care about it. They're going to hang out, they're going to go for it, chase down Renijay, but here comes Yue, Sensui, and Oheb. They're ready to fight. Fire Flux decides to disengage.
Okay, all right. Failed engages like that are small wins for BLACKLIST. They should count their blessings. The fact that Fire Flux committed a Phantom Steed to actually force out response from BLACKLIST, and what they got from BLACKLIST was just a sprint, means Fire Flux are setting up this Lord. Fire Flux are making sure that if they won that fight up top in the long lane, this would have been over by the time they got this second Lord. Now, Blacks International, they know that Fire Flux are still looking to pick up the pace. It's very far from 50-50. The 5K gold deal would say otherwise. 14 minutes in, I'm wondering what Yue is looking at, because Yue, between him and Oheb, I think Yue is the more reliable source of damage.
I think Yue, he's looking to drag this game out. The only way to do that is if they secure this upcoming Lord. So I think he's trying to get on top of TNZ personally, or at least apply the Terrify so that Sensui can go in for a clean steal.
Here's the thing, Yue has that implosion, right? But the way that Fire Flux is positioning himself, they don't, I feel like he doesn't have as many openings as Apex 47 does. Apex 47 does still have it. I'm waiting for him to blow it out. Alien gonna get taunted up from Sensui, but a lot of damage onto Edward. Edward tries to pop the penalty zone, but it's not enough. The full barrage comes out, and he's unloading onto Sensui. Renijay gonna be next. It's 4-man wipeout, a killing spree for Sunshine, and Fire Flux aren't even gonna go for the Lord. They're gonna run it down the mid lane.
Yeah, the call is endable. It's just Oheb left to defend. And looking at the minimap a little longer than I should have, they were setting up for the cleanup with Oheb. It just didn't happen.
Oh, Oheb, speaking of cleanup, might just get cleaned up. Able to flicker away, though, over to safety, but the minions are still coming. Can he 1v5? I don't think it's, I think it's a little too much to ask right now. Fire Flux Esports take game 2.
GG, they even up the score.
Big turn. With that said, again, the numbers will not support Fire Flux, given how it's in execution. It's in how it changes the dynamics of BLACKLIST lineup, their opponents, that allows for them to get the big dubs. With that said, Blacks International, I think if they wanted to go fast, if ever they were going to go fast, it was with a lineup like this. So already, they're off to a great start, but Bo's still in Fire Flux's court, man. Momentum's with them.
All right. See how much momentum is going to carry them over that finish line as we are contested for both sides. 1-1 is the current game score as we jump into the land of Dawn for game number 3. If you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's going to be BLACKLIST International on the blue side up against Fire Flux Esports on the red side.
All right, so BLACKLIST wants to go fast, right? They want to hit the zoom zoom. On the other hand, I feel like Fire Flux, like they always try to do, they need to try to slow them down here. They have the Minotaur, similar to the Tigreal. They have something that can kind of delay any type of oppression or aggression that BLACKLIST maybe wants to bring in these first few minutes.
Yeah, I think the perfect term for Fire Flux's winning image is the tempo break, the clutch, the turn. Because as soon as BLACKLIST tries to get into position, try to set up the burst, try to set up the CC with Edward and of course Renijay's offensive Holy Baptism, Fire Flux just presses the button, right? Let's turn it dark, let's heal up, let's clap back, let's put you up into the air, trampoline with the Minoan Fury, and you go from there. Looking at our emblem game so far, you see that it's the Assassin on the Hellcurt, and Assassin also on to Sensui, while they're both rocking the Lethal Ignition. So there's a solid amount of burst coming in from these Assassin and Fighter. type junglers, again, they're borderline utility. They're borderline just for their kit alone or mobility.
I mean, the Knockout Strike, the Dark Knight Falls, both of them really useful abilities, especially when paired together with some of the small strategies that you can actually go when it comes down to, hey, lock somebody down, don't worry, Edward can easily follow up with that. Or maybe Yue can even take a huge ultimate like the Minoan Fury. Well, is there an argument for him to take the Dark Knight Falls as well? I mean, if we're blind, we're both blind.
Imagine just both teams popping at the same time.
Yeah, no,
Lights out, baby.
That just almost confirms a disengage, right? And if you're Blacklist and you need a disengage at that moment, it's good, but just the same, you want to go fast. Why would you do that?
I mean, well, I would only assume when it comes down to these neutrals, right, and you're worried about Apex 47, and he just doesn't show face. Here we go.
Speaking of the Dark Knight Falls, there it goes. TNZ trying to zone away Yue, but still Blacklist holds down on this turtle pit. We're going to see some rotations up from Alien here. Rosa waiting for a moment to maybe come in. TNZ going to clear this minion. I'm ready for that flicker, but Edward is ready for it too. Looks like Fire Flux is going to back off on this one.
Yep. All right. Double lane for Oheb, and of course a turtle for Sensui. It's a big win for Black.
I mean, Fire Flux conceded that. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. Apex 47 wasn't level 4, and Yue just stole his ult and can use it while the Minotaur could not. It's one of the few small situations where it's like, it's not bad, it's pretty good.
Yep, and I think that is the jackpot. If you're looking at ults for Yue to steal, I'd say number 1 would still be Minoan Fury. Second would be the penalty zone. And then maybe Dark Knight Falls.
As we continue to move on in this game, right, we're waiting for Blacklist International. Like, what's the game plan here, right? How exactly are they going to start developing a lead for maybe even Sensui? Oh, God.
Speaking of game plans, Fire Flux wants to try to maybe push it here, but Sensui is onto them. All hanging out in the tri-bush. Fire Flux not scared at all.
Yeah, no. For Blacklist, what you want to do is, again, go fast, farm up, clear, and then convert. If you can get a pick-off, yes, because your lineup goes much, much faster in that direction. And it'll happen much better when Oheb is ready. Looking at the item game so far, he is up again against Sunshine 200 Gold. So that's where you see the fruits of his labor being a double lane farmer. And, oh, close call. Rosa cannot Black Shoes, by the way. Only did it because it was a clear call, but from there, what Fire Flux wants to do is turn on these major objectives. Turn when they have the Minoan Fury. Turn when they have Dark Knight Falls.
Ooh, a lot of damage. TNZ forced to use Dark Knight Falls just to try to get away. Rosa there to help. Let's take a look at this duo hero statistic. Lilia and Terizla, 55.8% rate.
Good numbers.
Very, very good numbers. Again, both of these heroes now becoming... I mean, I'm very happy that Terizla is as meta as it is now when it used to be absolutely untouched. But even for Lilia, right, there's some great arguments for her now to be even more effective compared to previously where everyone was like, it's Novaria or nothing.
Yeah, no. Especially in the age of Faramis Valentina, that just... instantly, the fact that those two heroes are in your draft defines what your team fights look like. Lilia has become a breakout star, only, again, maybe second to Tigreal.
As this game progresses, right, one of the few interactions that is good to see that Sensui is abusing is that knockout strike. Every single time he's using it against TNZ, yes, he gets silenced, but he's also creating space to force TNZ to make a decision. You either jump at me or you jump out. There is no in-between. There is no time to decide.
I guess there is a third option. I jump you. There will come a point wherein even TNZ will not be ready, given that his kit is very committal. He can use his dash to disengage, but from then on, the rest of Fire Flux have to respond. The rest of Fire Flux have to be ready to protect TNZ because, again, the reason why Helkert is a very specific kind of hero is his disengage is almost abysmal. You need to use his ult to save him.
Waiting for the rotation back. I like that, but Renijay with a defensive holy baptism there. Oheb able to get back to safety. I like the trap they laid there, but a little ill-executed.
There you go. That's what I was talking about, right? The fact that you're going to have to use one of your big-ticket skills if, in case, the engage doesn't work out.
Ooh, now they're going for Sunshine. Sunshine able to kite back, though. Reapply some damage on Edward. Terrify doesn't land on Rosa. There goes Minoan's Fury. A lot of damage on Edward. Ow. Face full of torn apart memories, and Edward goes down. Sunshine picking up the kill, getting first blood.
Oh, it's definitely one of those moments where I thought I was going to cast the curse it for sure, right? TNZ ends up whiffing the initial dash, so they didn't get enough of a silence for the follow-up to actually make it count. And the Holy Baptism comes out, and at that point, it's too late, right? He didn't bother using the Deadly Stingers. There's just no time to do so. If it was, you know, on a tight, since the window is so tight, it could have been killed. But here we go.
TNZ looking for UA. Alien helps him out with a supported penalty zone. Sensui wants to lock on Alien, though. Wait, no, gonna switch over to the mid side. Doesn't want to take too much damage. At this point, they're just covering all bases.
Fire Flux are overloading Blacklist senses. Again, when you're afraid of the dark and you don't know what's in a certain bush, and there's real damage getting packed into the cores of Fire Flux this early on, under 7 minutes, then you are going to buckle. Blacklist now going to lose some presence here in this bottom lane, allowing for this next turtle to be as close to 50-50, the last turtle, and they even have time to help TNZ get space to get his orange, and then they fight, they engage.
All right, now Fire Flux for the first time wanting to fight for this turtle. All 5 members hanging out in the pit. Let's rumble. Blacklist wants to try to take it to Edward, holding the front side, looking for the knockup, but the penalty zone comes to the backside. Dark Knight falls. Yue pops up an Owen's Fury of his own, though, but Apex 47 is here to help. Sensui still able to secure the turtle. Sensui looking for more. Apex goes down. Edward able to find him a Sunshine. Unloading. Alien goes down right now. It's a 2-4-3. Fire Flux loses the turtle, but takes 1 extra member.
What a fight from both sides. Great target priority for the side of Blacklist International. And you could see that Sensui was so close to maybe achieving a triple kill there for himself, getting so deep in the sauce there. But you got to give it to Sunshine. His targets to stun, to stop combinations, perfect once he knew that Renegade was down, to not give him that extra bit of movement speed to close the distance afterwards.
That's situational awareness. Even as a Brody who wants to get max stacks on as many opponents as possible and then pressing the button on the ult, it's so easy to actually get blinded by that fact. But the truth is, once Fire Flux gets in a position and you actually time out Blacklist's window of opportunity to burst down the key sources for Fire Flux's follow-through, then you're good. Again, that's the key here. Fire Flux needs follow-through. That combo between the Dark Knight Falls and the Minoan Fury is so good, but if there's no follow-through, Blacklist will win, and that's why it was a trade. That could have been a clean 3 for none, 2 for none for either side, but that just shows they both know what each other's packing.
It's a matter of respect. When somebody sizes you up like that, especially when they have that much heat against them, it's dangerous. And especially, this is an elimination match, right? This is an elimination series, as a matter of fact.
And this is something I was a little worried about from Fire Flux. I was worried that they'd be a little too scared to size back. It's something that I felt kind of happened to them during Deus Vault, but now, even if they're a little below, even if the gold lead isn't in their favor, they're willing to hang out in the fight, hang out in the ring, and try to throw those punches to come out on top.
And if you're playing against a team like Deus Vault, you pick up a few things. Deus Vault was responsible for 2 of the longest games in the group stage, so you know how patient they are. And with a lineup like this, Fire Flux, they have to be very patient, and they have to time out even the Hitman's mobility, even the Hitman's vision. So right now we're back to the same situation as Game 2. They're overloading the Hitman's vision, even if it's very good, the way he's able to check pushes. Here we go.
Dark Knight falls. Apex 47 on to Sensui. Sensui takes the Lord. What a steal. The Fire Flux aren't done just yet. Yue able to take down 847. TNZ finds Edward. Alien on the run. A final shot on a Rosa, and Sunshine goes down. Sensui wants more. Yue still hungry. Is it a full team wipe? Rosa the last one standing. He's got to try to get out of here. Oheb doesn't want to let it happen. A couple more shots and down. Blacklist come out on top.
What a wipeout here. We were looking for the commitment. We were looking for the whole for Fire Flux Esports so that Blacklist International can pull this in their favor as the agents go wild. A 4K lead in their pocket. Let's see how much damage they can apply to Fire Flux.
They didn't see that coming. Was that the first time we actually saw Yue with a stolen Dark Knight Falls?
Yes.
It was perfect, given that, again, we're talking about how Fire Flux's lineup needs the follow-through, needs the follow-up, needs to know after this combo, after Apex and TNZ put in their ult,
A pixel sword.
both XP laners debuted in the M series in M3 with Alien coming in from Bedell, Edward coming in with Blacklist winning the thing eventually. You're right though, I have to agree that maybe there's still a little bit of an X factor coming in from these two young athletes.
All right, back into the game now. 5K gold lead. BLACKLIST just took a huge swing with that last fight. Fire Flux, it kind of felt like they had a little bit of control over the game, but now that control is thrown to the wind.
And with a 5K lead like that, the question is whether they can find the 2X. And I mean, so far the damage is good, right? BLACKLIST International are finally in a position of power, a position that is very advantageous considering that OHEB has his core items in comparison to Sunshine, 2 levels down, in a matter of fact. And let's just double check with the damage dealt. Rosa, still on top. Just, okay.
But it's okay, because you have Rafaela. As soon as you try and clear those shadow energies, and you try and check how far and how deep Rosa can go, as well as Sunshine, you can top up and then come through. Again, the photo meta is still real. The fact that they nerfed the item doesn't mean it's out. You're still very good, and you're still always combat ready, compared to Fire Flux, who's playing with their greens so often. But by that I mean they're playing with their ults. Again, between a lineup that can rely on their right clicks and their skills 1 and 2, compared to a lineup that needs their ults, if you have better engagement, better positioning, then the Prior will win.
Exactly. And more so, if we really look at BLACKLIST International's composition, they don't have any necessary ways to poke out their opponent, right? And I think that's the important thing. That's why BLACKLIST International are sticking so close together, right? They can top up really quickly, but the same can be applied for Fire Flux Esports. Yes, they can poke with Rosa, but there's the top up from BLACKLIST International. And if any one of the members is missing from the side of Fire Flux Esports, the whole composition starts to crumble.
All right, here we go. Edward is going to lock onto Tienzi there, do a little bit of damage with the stingers. Sensui going to hang out by this Lord right now. Alien also maybe going to have to go back up to that top lane to clear those minions. It's a little bit too much. BLACKLIST know it. They're going to try to take this. I think Fire Flux's only opportunity. Try to pop a nice Dark Knight Falls, try to get a Lord Steal, try to get the hell out of there. Sensui knows it though, along with the rest of the team. Yue gets terrifying to Rosa. Rosa tries to re-engage. Wait a second, Minoan's Fury comes down. Dark Knight Fall drops. Tienzi goes in. He gets the steal. Try to run away, but you just can't today. Renny J goes down, but they've taken too long with him. Next could be Sunshine. Sunshine on the run, and that is it. Alien, along with Rosa, make it just Alien. He's all alone, and Sensui's gonna be the last one to punch in the final blow, the knockout strike. All he's gotta do is land one more, but Alien survives. They've got a Lord on their side. Fire Flux may survive.
What a steal from Tienzi, but what a dive coming in from BLACKLIST International. That's what we wanted to see, a full synchronized backline jump, and it worked out. They poked out Apex, and now they're going to get an inhibitor.
Make that 2. Down bottom, OHEB is also working on it. Top lane 2, wow, the defensive penalty zone.
Nice penalty zone, Tienzi is back up. Minoan's Fury does come out. Edward on the run, Sensui gonna go down. Sunshine able to pick him up. Tienzi still on the chase, able to flicker in, look for Yue, gets terrified or decides to actually just back off. Apex 47 trying to force him out of their hometown. Rosa coming from the side lane. Fire Flux finally reclaiming some of their land.
Wow. Again, Fire Flux showing us that even if we know we're down on firepower, we can do something very specific, and that is confirm objectives. Interesting. That wave was left.
Oh no, the housekeeping was not done, and the mold is set in, breaking the last inhibitor. Now, I mean, you gotta admit, this has got to be a pretty good situation for BLACKLIST International. Now, regardless of the gold lead, now they can do the Lord dance, and more so, they can really drag it out.
Now, with a situation like that, OHEB read into it and said, you know what? The waves are on our side. The waves are our friends. I'm going to build a Windtalker. Yes, that's the Windtalker. And just straight up attack the waves when it's a go. Because look, a minute from now, Lord's gonna spawn. Best believe, BLACKLIST is gonna pressure that long lane, make this Lord dance more perilous for Fire Flux to answer for, and then they can slowly but surely get into another winning position. They're gonna force a response from Fire Flux, wherein Fire Flux might not be completely ready.
Well, let's find out whether that's going to be the case, right? Damage dealt. Yue is catching up fast to Rosa. Rosa's gotta be careful. So far, so good, but I feel like if Fire Flux wants to have any semblance of bouncing back, it's figuring out a way to punish OHEB and Renegade collectively, right? Because Edward so far has been peeling unbelievably for the team, and he might not necessarily be the one that you want to take down.
I think step number 1 is to bait out a Purify. The fact that BLACKLIST International now respect the very little but very potent CC that Fire Flux is presenting means they're on to something. So if BLACKLIST can pop one Purify and then Fire Flux can wait that out, then maybe Fire Flux can bounce back. That's where they start.
And TNZ keeps walking into those punches. Sensui always ready for him. This Lord, I mean, if BLACKLIST gets this, I think it's GG's unless Fire Flux pulls something off incredible. TNZ's going to be forced to try to go for the steal again. Does he want to maybe try to take somebody out, though? Do they maybe just want to make this the last fight instead of just the Lord steal? It's definitely going to be tough, and there's a lot of things they got to answer here in a small amount of time.
Nope, that's a full-on reset. Sensui overextending that Lord dance, and we're back. BLACKLIST doing so well to clean up these bushes.
Yeah, they can do this all day, and now they're going to blitz it down, right? This is going to be a no contest for the side.
Oh, wait. TNZ's maybe going to go for it here. No.
Okay.
Pull back, pull back, pull back.
Yeah, I think it's fine, right? Because their high ground defense, as long as they got Rosa, is pretty okay overall.
But Gideon, that's the only thing they have. That's the only real semblance of wave clear. So on a scale of nothing to this is great, they're closer to nothing. It's just Rosa.
Let's see as they start walking up to the base.
All right, Lord encroaching, Sensui taking the top side. Nice knock up. Edward able to secure it on Alien. Alien pops penalty zone, able to flicker away. Sunshine still chipping away at this Lord. Sensui looking for an angle. Alien getting brought low, knocked up. Apex 47 with no one's fury, but Oheb chips him down quick. UA with no one's fury of his own. It's a full team wipe, and now nothing but the base stands. BLACKLIST International able to take game number 3.
Nicely done.
Checking out the lineup once more. The numbers say it all for BLACKLIST International because, again, this is the characteristic for Fire Flux. So far, they've gotten this deep into M5 by defying the odds and playing heroes like Leomord, and here they're trying to show us a new take. Again, this is a cobbled together way of playing the Leomord, and I'm sure they've screamed with this, and I'm sure they've practiced for the fact that maybe our opponents will take out the key parts of this lineup, but against BLACKLIST, man, this is an old flame.
All right, it's match point for BLACKLIST right now. Trying to close out against Fire Flux. Game number 4. Who's going to take it all?
Is it going to be Fire Flux on this blue side? Rosa!
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Oh, he just got chunked. He used his Purify already and he got chunked. BLACKLIST International on the red side. I think it
jumped
was.
into the mid?
Yeah.
They all went in.
I got a treat for you here.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that was almost a first blood so early on, pre-1 minute.
Okay, and that's coming in from 2 concussive blasts from Sensui and Edward respectively. Edward also rocking the, all right, Master Assassin.
Yeah.
Also rocking the Assassin emblem. All right, that's a whole bunch of damage. How much? Yes.
Yes.
More than enough. More than enough. I like it. I like it a lot, right? That's what I was hoping for, to see these aggressive openings coming in from BLACKLIST International, because Khalid is one of the few heroes who gets away with that. He no worries about mana. It's not that big of a deal.
Homie even has the jump, right? His passive. So you don't need to commit anything.
Exactly. And it applies a slowing. Man, there's so many good things about it that I could talk about it forever. But so far, just look at this lane dominance coming in from Edward.
I like it now. As long as Edward can control this, and as long as the read from Edward, he has the ability to counter-engage here. If that implosion comes and he's not in it, and everyone tries to jump in when that implosion happens, he can definitely punish certain plays that Fire Flux wants to bring here. Oh, TNZ, though, trying to punish himself, but he gets punished! Under the tower, first blood, going over to UA.
Shadow Strike doing its work, terrifying the Leomord in mid, and this bottom lane, this gold lane matchup, again, it's a skill match actually, but this is Oheb we're talking about.
Yeah, it's going really well. It's going really well for BLACKLIST in the early stages of this game. I think we need to start looking for some foresight here, you know? Foreshadowing, as some may even call it. When do we expect Fire Flux to try and bounce back against BLACKLIST International, right? Obviously, level 4s are going to come on in, but with the lead that BLACKLIST International has made, I'm guessing it's going to lead towards the bottom side of the map, where Renegade is keeping his watch.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to switch gears at this point. Taking a death on a TNZ that earlier on that hero that you want to snowball, that we've seen snowballs in games that they've won with it before. Now I think we have to, okay, let's try to favor Sunshine here. Let's try to maybe give OHEB a bad game. Let's try to look at some other opportunities.
And I think the fact that Apex has, I don't know, been put on a very defensive position. Again, a babysitting Tigreal is a very difficult way to look at a clapback. And so far, when Fire Flux does this, when they play a lineup like this, they are constantly looking for outlets for Apex to kill. Apex to help TNZ wipe people out. And if Apex is so focused on protecting Sunshine, then that's a whole other story.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that BLACKLIST International has 2 winning lanes on the furthest sides of the map as well. Like, you can have as much priority in the mid lane as you want, but our laners, no matter which side you go to, they're going to get hurt, right? And I don't think Fire Flux Esports, with the heroes that they have, aren't exactly the greatest when it comes down to skirmishing. Maybe Sunshine, but that's the only exception.
Oh man, Sunshine in a bad spot right now. 3 members of BLACKLIST just circling like vultures, man, just looking, waiting for the pickings right now. Yue gonna come down as well. Rose gonna walk right in Sensui there, take a little bit of damage, forced to pop the black shoes. TNZ not want to force it, and BLACKLIST have a lead. They don't have to force anything right now.
Something to note about what Sensui is doing to Rosa, he's forcing either a Black Shoes or a Purify. If both go, that's a sign for the rest of BLACKLIST to follow through. So with that said, I think even BLACKLIST knows that the turnaround from Fire Flux is coming from gold. It also helps that the turtle is here.
Ooh, out comes the steed.
Hey.
Edward on the run, TNZ. Not going to be able to do anything. Look for the knock-up. Neither of them have it. Edward able to walk away safely, gets pulled back. Oh, they needed that kill so bad. That could have been the turnaround a little bit, at least to get TNZ back in the game.
Khalid things, quicksand guard. I'm like, what you gonna do about it?
Not to mention he didn't even spend his flicker. He straight up just rode the sands out to safety.
Oh man, I love the fact that we were like, you know, underrated players, and on top of the fact that the EXPs have been kind of like, not doing too much because it's been pretty boring lanes for them. Now it's kind of riding on them to make these big plays.
Oh, Sunshine pinned against the wall. Sensui looking for the finish. OHEB gets the kill though. Rosa looking to respond, pops the black shoes in the midst of them. Sensui uses that defensive spin though, able to get away. Luckily Rosa still finds Yue. Fire Flux trying to even things out. Oh, Edward with the raging sandstorm gets the stun on it. TNZ goes down. OHEB finds another kill. Apex 47 grasping for straws, but able to grasp nothing. It's a 2-for-1 trade. BLACKLIST on top.
Grasp these facts. Whenever you see BLACKLIST International with low HP, technically they aren't. The fact that you have a hero like the Rafaela that tops up all of their members, just taking them out of Oathkeeper range, makes Fire Flux Esports' job more difficult. It's not a true sweep when you have to swing maybe 2 more times. Also talking about the Khalid, oh dear lord. There's a reason why XP lane feels like the toughest lane for hero pool right now. It's because they're so perfect, like the way this Khalid is now on Edward, or they get banned out. Looking at that draft now, you see that the Arlott got banned, you're seeing Edith getting banned, and that's just the name of the game right now. So BLACKLIST International perfectly setting up for that atmosphere, sitting at 4 kills ahead here, 6 minutes in.
Oh, cheeky lane swap.
Alien pops the Bravest Spider, getting some nice damage on OHEB. Oh, the flicker in! They find him! Luckily, Apex finds another one. Double kill for the roamer, but that's okay. It's still a win for Fire Flux Esports, but no! Sunshine! Just when they find something, they lose elsewhere.
What can you say about this, right? The trades on both sides. It feels like both teams are literally just thinking in the same light.
Oh, Sensui in trouble. Gonna get stunned too. Sensui still gets the turtle. Gonna be able to walk away safely. Yue and Edward doing some damage on Alien there. Fire Flux gonna back off.
It's impressive how these kinds of teams, structure-wise, synergy-wise, skill set-wise, come up and are developed from across different parts of the world. One from Ankara in Turkey, the other from Manila here in the Philippines. And here now they're both fighting for tournament life. BLACKLIST about 2,000 gold ahead. I'd like to think maybe if Sunshine had a Purify would have been better, but that's a Beatrix with a Purify. Doesn't work out.
Alien gonna get pinned here. Gonna be okay though, looks like. Nothing too major.
Down bottom.
They do find the tower though, down bottom. Edward versus Tienzi once again, but Edward gonna get the outplay! Bring out the recalls, baby! Edward!
Agent 0, TNZ there, amazing. He had the Master Assassin though.
He did have the Master Assassin, and now we might see another response.
Okay, Blacklist ready to bring out the pillow, smothering down onto Fire Flux.
Just take it. But here's the thing, Fire Flux can still get themselves out of this position like this. I'd say put Blacklist where they're down on damage, and when they're not as complete, when they're not all there. But you're talking about the specialists of the Ube here. It's easier said than done.
I mean, it's finally a deep breath of fresh air for both sides, right? It's on a knife's edge. It really is. And so far, the EXP laners have been doing a phenomenal job. However, it's only left inside of their lanes. We haven't seen it actually expand their influence over the neutral fights, and more importantly so, with the cheeky lane swaps, both sides getting punished for it. It begs the question whether BLACKLIST International can actually maintain this as we start moving towards the later stages of the game. Well, like, we're done with early. The lanes are basically gone for. Now, we transition into mid-game, and this is where it's going to get really sweaty now that the Lord has spawned.
Already, truth be told, this is foreign land for Fire Flux. It's unfamiliar to them to play a Leomord and not be ahead. So they have to very specifically find an angle where Apex can set up an amazing ult for Sunshine and Alien. Of course, Alien's been catching Blacklist pretty good, to be honest, in the past 9 minutes. See this, right?
He's never scared to go in.
Oh. This is a good position.
That is a good position. Sensui is there. It comes Raging Sandstorm from the back. Genzi can't find his way in. Sensui able to secure it, and Blacklist is like, no, we're not fighting. We got our goal.
Sensui is playing man-to-man defense against a man and a horse.
Oh, boy. He's doing it well.
He's doing a great job, right? He is just point guarding out of his mind. It's nice to see. It's one of those matchups where you don't want to pin him against the wall. You just need him far enough so he can't use the retribution range isn't near that Lord. So now that BLACKLIST International finally have that lead, we're starting to see the motion start flowing through. We're seeing the huge lead coming out from OHEB's side, 2K ahead. Huge,
and they're very low to the ground still, right? You're looking at marksmen who just have 3 core items, 2 prior to that last one being built. So it just shows that Blacklist are snowballing. This is the equivalent of a team that is, what, synergy-based like Blacklist, snowballing at 10 minutes in, 3-6.
You know, I also love Edward's position. He's always taking the opposite side of the team. He's always the 1 to the 4-1, right? And there he is once again, possibly going to go for Tienzi up in the top side. He's hiding out in that tri-bush, waiting for a moment to strike. And the boss side, BLACKLIST International, going to try to close in with this Lord as well. They're going to break through that second inhibitor, try to break through this second in the mid as well. Can Fire Flux defend?
That's so good, it's so clean. Khalid is the perfect one hero in the 4-1. Because again, in this lineup for Fire Flux, the only one who can really stop his quick Sandguard is what? Apex 47 and Alien. That's it. Maybe with a Phantom Seed, knock him off his knee, right? So it's so good. He wins the 1v1 regardless.
I mean, as they start pushing in, right? I mean, this top-up specifically coming in from Renegade, it's making it difficult, right? Rosa is landing some good shots, but really it's not developing much for the team anymore. The zoning isn't as good as it used to be.
Yep, because Blacklist are willing to walk into it. If anything, it's Blacklist who's checking Fire Flux's ground. Rosa's saying, all right, you guys can only go up to here. Oh yeah? Can we go up this close? And then, again, it's a 5k deficit. You have your cores and even your tanks, your peelers, who can't take as much damage from OHEB's basic attacks, saying, all right, you know what, maybe you can. And they have to play very defensively. They have to play very specifically and sacrifice their larger objectives. This tier 2 in mid, I give it maybe 2 or 3 more waves. I give it this last Lord, and then Black is going to push in.
It's definitely going to be trouble for Fire Flux. I mean, they're at a big gold deficit, 4.5.
Oh.
Not only that, but most of that gold is in the hands of OHEB.
That's a winter tranche coming up. Rather, a Wind of Nature coming up.
So, I mean, now, even if Sunshine starts to catch up, OHEB can still get some outplay. He can also deal with some of the damage from Alien, deal with some of the damage from TNZ. Fire Flux running out of answers. Apex looks for the implosion, though. Alien in the backside as well with the bravest fighter. Yue catches him with one of his own. Terrified, Alien down. Sensui gonna pick up that kill just in time to take this Lord.
Very clean from the side of BLACKLIST International, right? This pick is going to make sure that at least for this Lord, it's going to be a non-contest. I can't imagine Fire Flux walking up here, especially since Bennett's Rage is already down, and Nibiru's Passion puts you in an awkward spot where you're now susceptible to getting hit by not only Yue, but at the same time, by the Holy Baptism from Renegade. So there we go. They've got the Lord for free, uncontested.
That's right. Not just the fact that even Alien is down. Maybe if you can layer the Implosion and the Bravest Fighter, that might be enough of a peel or a full frontal shock that scatters BLACKLIST and then allows for the damage from Rosa and Sunshine to make a difference. But that's 2 or 3 layers that you have to set up. That's a 1-step plan for BLACKLIST compared to Fire Flux's 3 or 4. And we're being very generous. It's actually a grocery list of things that have to go right for Fire Flux for them to actually have stolen that Lord away.
Yeah. If you mess it up, if you miss it,
the punish.
It's over.
The punish is so bad.
Can we talk about the fact that Alien is going for a pretty interesting build earlier when I did see it? He did have an extra Fury Hammer on top of the Hunter Strike. Is he trying to go for Blade of Heptases when most people will go for Malefic Roar at this point in time?
It's a hybrid, and again, I think he's just hunting for Ohib. That's what he's been doing. He's trying to take down the core for BLACKLIST, but I'm worried because there's very little of a streak on Ohib. But I guess if you do take down their main damage source, you're able to force out fights so that TNZ can swing. I don't know.
Lord coming in. Black coming in as well. Knock, knock. Black gonna move up to the top side. They want to clear everything out. And I just love the patience right now. This is the Filipino discipline at its peak. BLACKLIST International not stressed at all about trying to end the game right now. They know they have late game secured. They know they have mid. They know that this is in their hands.
I mean, with no inhibitors, I'm trying to figure out a way for Fire Flux Esports to really make this comeback onto BLACKLIST International. I mean, it really boils down to whether BLACKLIST International makes that mistake, right?
Biggest play of their lifetime. That's what they need.
The shift in Oheb's priorities. Instead of going straight for the Wind of Nature, he pivots into the DHS. And then he'll there it is, there's a defensive item. He knows that he wasn't in trouble. He knows that Alien has slowed down on finding him out in the back line. And because of that, those pushes became much, much easier.
It's looking pretty grim, right? It's looking pretty grim, but we've seen teams come back from worse. It's an 8.2k lead, now an 8.1k lead for the side of BLACKLIST International. But for Fire Flux Esports, it's just a moment that we're looking at Apex 47. We're hoping, we're praying that maybe he finds somebody. Maybe even Sensui just to steal away a singular Lord because he's the only one who's not running the Purify.
There's that, but I think the actual reality of comeback is going to happen much closer to home, inside their base. If Apex 47 can find a perfect flicker, displacement, and implosion close to the base where he can expose, expose BLACKLIST International to maybe 1 or 2 more third take hits that they can take, then that could be the comeback.
Rosa getting Divine Glaive now, and it might just be another non-contest. TNZ, he's going to have to try his best. They might even have to sacrifice a player just to try to make the attempt work.
Yeah, but look at Edward's positioning right now, constantly holding this bot side, and that's the flank, right? And Edward has done this so well, and that's what created space last time. TNZ had to fall back, and that's what gave Sensui the ability to just do that heavy spin and get him out of there. Fire Flux know that so much is on the line. I think they're going to put it all on this Lord, possibly.
What makes it worse is they know that Edward is in that bush. Edward showed himself, so they know that there's this angle coming in from the south.
But what can they do about it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just frustrating.
Apex maybe goes for Edward. I don't know, man.
Flush him out.
Minions are coming down on the top side, though. Don't forget, this is a do-or-die game. All the pressure on Fire Flux shoulders right now. If they don't win this, they're going home. One last Lord to rule them all right here. The Steed comes out. Edward comes in. Only lands a stun on Apex 47, though. Edward actually taking a little bit of damage. Sensui gets the pin. The heavy spin. TNZ goes. No, able to just get away, but still, the rest of the team taking way too much damage. Yue! He finds an Oheb with another one. Fire Flux is dropping left and right. Rosa
Can he try to get the outplay? No, Black is already at the base. Sunshine, 1v4. This should be it. Blacklist International, with a dynasty better than most, are gonna move on in the lower bracket.
And there you have it! GG! Well